Shrub roses are the undisputed workhorses of the floral landscape. Bred to combine the classic beauty of traditional roses with the vigorous, disease-resistant hardiness of wild species, they provide a spectacular, continuous explosion of color from late spring through the first frost. However, their incredible stamina during the growing season does not mean they are invincible. Even the most robust shrub roses face their ultimate test when temperatures plummet, the ground freezes solid, and harsh, desiccating winter winds begin to howl. The secret to a magnificent summer display does not actually begin in the spring. It is rooted entirely in how you put your garden to bed in the fall. Proper late-season maintenance, strategic pruning, and careful winterization are critical to ensuring your roses survive the deep freeze and wake up energized. Here is your comprehensive, step-by-step guide to pruning and protecting your shrub roses before winter arrives. Step 1. The late summer shift, triggering dormancy. Preparing your roses for winter actually begins while the weather is still warm. Plants need time to slowly transition from active blooming to winter dormancy. If you push them to keep growing right up until the first snow, their tender new shoots will instantly freeze and die, sending a massive shock to the plant's root system. Stop the fertilizer. About 6 to 8 weeks before your area's first expected frost date, completely stop applying all fertilizers, especially those high in nitrogen. You want to starve the plant of the fuel that encourages soft, vulnerable new leaf growth. Stop deadheading. Throughout the summer, you likely snipped off faded flowers to encourage new blooms. In late summer, you must stop this practice. Allow the final flush of flowers to die naturally on the bush and develop into seed pods, known as rose hips. The physical act of producing these swollen, orange-red hips sends a hormonal signal to the rest of the plant that the reproductive season is over, prompting it to begin drawing sap down into the roots and hardening off its canes for winter. Step 2. Ruthless fall hygiene. As autumn sets in and the leaves begin to drop, garden hygiene becomes your most powerful weapon against next year's disease outbreaks. Fungal pathogens like black spot and powdery mildew do not simply vanish in the cold. Their microscopic spores are incredibly resilient, designed to overwinter in the dead, fallen leaves resting on the soil surface beneath your bushes. If you leave this debris in place, the spring rains will simply splash the dormant spores right back up onto the fresh new growth. Rake it clean. Meticulously rake up and remove every fallen leaf from the base of your roses. Do not put these leaves in your home compost bin, as it will likely not get hot enough to destroy the spores. Bag them up and send them out with the municipal yard waste. Strip the sick leaves. If your shrub rose still has leaves clinging to the canes that show obvious signs of black spot, gently pull them off by hand and dispose of them. You want to plant as clean as possible before the deep freeze sets in. Step 3. The pre-winter prune, preventing windrock. It is crucial to understand the difference between spring pruning and fall pruning. Do not perform your heavy, structural pruning in the fall. Cutting the plant down to the ground now will stimulate new growth, which will immediately be killed by the frost. Furthermore, any fresh cuts made in the fall are highly susceptible to freeze damage and winter dieback. However, you must perform a defensive pre-winter prune to protect the roots. The threat of windrock. Shrub roses often shoot up incredibly long, vigorous canes in late summer. When severe winter storms arrive, these long, whip canes act like sails in the wind. The violent back-and-forth whipping motion aggressively loosens the plant at the base, tearing the delicate feeder roots underground. This phenomenon, known as windrock, can easily kill a rose. The defensive cut. To prevent this, simply trim back the top 1/3 of the tallest, longest canes. You are not worrying about cutting at perfect angles or finding outward-facing buds right now. You are simply reducing the height and the wind resistance of the bush. Once trimmed, take some soft garden twine and loosely tie the remaining canes together to create a secure, stable bundle that will resist heavy snow loads. Step 4. The art of insulation. Once the ground has experienced a few hard freezes and the rose is fully dormant, usually around late November or early December, it is time to apply the physical winter protection. The goal here is not to keep the plant warm. Rather, the goal is to keep the plant consistently cold. The most severe winter damage occurs during sudden thaws and freezes, which cause the soil to heave and trick the plant into waking up too early. Mounding the crown. The most critical part of the rose to protect is the crown, or the graft union, the swollen knob at the base of the plant where the canes meet the roots. Bring in fresh topsoil or organic compost from another part of the garden and build a generous mound, about 8 to 12 inches high, completely burying the center base of the rose. Do not use leaves. Avoid using whole, unshredded oak or maple leaves for mounding. Wet leaves will mat together into a solid, suffocating layer that traps stagnant moisture and promotes stem rot. Evergreen boughs and straw. Once the soil mound freezes solid, lay evergreen branches like leftover pine boughs from a Christmas tree or a thick layer of clean agricultural straw over the mound. This acts as a final insulating blanket, shading the soil from the sun to ensure it stays frozen solid until spring truly arrives. Pro tip for harsh climates. If you live in an area with extreme sub-zero winters, consider wrapping the tied canes in a cylinder of burlap. This breathable fabric shields the upper canes from brutal, drying winds while still allowing essential airflow. Conclusion: winterizing your shrub roses is an act of delayed gratification. It requires putting in the hard work on chilly autumn afternoons when the garden is winding down. However, by intentionally triggering dormancy, maintaining strict hygiene, preventing wind rock through strategic trimming, and insulating the vital crown, you give your plants the ultimate armor against the elements. When the snow finally melts and the spring sun returns, you will pull back the soil mounds to find healthy, energized green canes, ready to reward your foresight with a spectacular season.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like videos like this. Thank you.